Amphibians. Amphibians live on land and in water. Of the 6,000 species of the amphibians, most begin in their life in water. The skin of an amphibian is thin and moist and helps the amphibian to breathe, so they need to live in moist, damp places. How do amphibians give birth? Most amphibians are born in water, where the eggs are laid, although some frogs, toads, and elands give birth to live young that look like adults. Most frogs lay eggs in a blob of jelly, and most toads lay eggs in long strips of gel. Some caecilians lay eggs in burrows. Male frogs call loudly to attract females to suitable water bodies, such as ponds at the start of the mating season. Male frogs' eggs are a favorite food of other animals in the water, so frogs lay enough eggs to ensure that some survive. Worm look-alike. Elands are amphibians that look like giant worms, earthworms, or small snakes. They live hidden in the ground. Most of the time, most species have smooth, dark skin. Their eyes are covered by skin for protection underground. They have 2 tentacles on their heads. There are 171 species of caecilians. Most of them live in hot and moist places around the world. What are the changes that happen to amphibians as they grow? All amphibians are born from an egg and grow into a tadpole. As the tadpole grows, its eyes grow eyelids, and the creature learns to see both in and out of water. But until they become adults, they spend all their time in water. Tadpoles of frogs and toads lose their tails before they move on to land and become adults. Long tongue. Frogs have a long tongue hinged at the front of the mouth. They flick this tongue out quickly to catch food. Is it a frog or a toad? Frogs have longer legs than most toads, which help them to take long leaps. The hind feet of a frog are webbed to help it swim. Toads hop around and have dry, thick, watery skin. Unlike most amphibians, toads like to live in dry places. Most frogs and toads have bulging eyes covered by a transparent piece of skin to keep their eyes moist. When frogs eat, they lose their eyes and push the food down their throat. Are amphibians safe to touch? Most toads and some salamanders secrete a poison through their skin to defend themselves against predators. Most frogs are not poisonous, although rainforest frogs like the poison arrow frog are so poisonous that some people tip arrows with its poison to use for hunting. How big are amphibians? Amphibians range in size from the tiny 9.8 millimeter or 0.38 inch Brazilian gold frog to the Japanese giant salamander, which is 1.5 meters, 60 inches long, and weighs 25 kilograms, 55 pounds. Amphibians are found almost everywhere on Earth. The familiar frog. With over 5,000 species, frogs are among the most common animals in the world. They are found from the warm tropics to the cold subarctic regions, but most species are found in the tropical rainforest. Adult frogs are equally comfortable in land and water. Sing a song for her. Male frogs and toads have a special pouch in their throat that helps them to croak. The sound is amplified by one or more vocal sacs, which are membranes of skin under the throat or on the corner of the mouth. Croaking loudly is a good way to attract females in the mating season. Some frogs and toads croak loudly to scare other males away and can even puff themselves out to look bigger. Highly poisonous. Most of the 220 species of the poison arrow frog of Central and South America are brightly colored to scare away potential predators. What do frogs and toads eat? Frogs catch live prey, mostly insects, by darting out their long, sticky tongues. The marine toad eats plants as well as other dead animals. Do toads have long tongues like frogs? Toads have shorter tongues than frogs and have to use their wide mouths to catch their prey. Why do some frogs and almost all toads secrete poison? Frogs and toads secrete poison for safety. Most poison arrow frogs and mantella frogs are brightly colored to warn their enemies. Some harmless frogs copy this coloring to protect themselves from predators who mistake them as poisonous. Can toads help out in the garden? Frogs and toads help to keep insects in the garden under control. They eat snails and slugs, which destroy plants. They are also an important part of the food chain. Rats, foxes, crows, and hedgehogs eat them.